All right, so homework request number 1 for number 45, they asked you to look for two quadratic functions, one that opens up and one that opens down, whose graphs have the given x-intercepts. Now, one of the keys there is that they give you the x-intercepts, which we also know as the roots, okay, or the solutions when f of x is equal to 0. So one of the ways we can look at this is to simply say, well, I can be fairly confident that if I have here that x is equal to -1 and x is equal to 3, not fairly confident, 100% confident, okay? Those are my roots in this particular case. So if I go ahead and I add 1 to both sides of this one and I subtract 3 from both sides of this one, I find the two factors of the equation I'm looking for end up being x plus 1, okay, is equal to 0, and x minus 3 is equal to 0, meaning that I can write the equation 0 is equal to x plus 1 times x minus 3. Now, from this, I know that this is the equation of a parabola that does in fact cross through those two x-intercepts. Now, if you notice here, you can kind of look ahead and see that our leading term is going to be positive. Okay? So the way you can get around that is to simply say, well, I'm going to go ahead and make 0 equal to the negative version of this. Now, let's take a second to make sure that both of our roots we would still have x-intercepts of -1, 0 and 3, 0. Well, if we take a look at this, one of the steps we could do is we could actually just multiply or divide both sides by a -1. That would eliminate this negative here, and we'd end up with this exact same problem. Okay? So another way of looking at it is if I multiply both sides of this by -1, then I would get this equation over here. So both equations are good. And from here, we can just simply multiply out, and I would get that 0 is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3. And here I get the same thing, except I have that negative out in front. Okay? I distribute that negative to each and every term. Okay? And I wind up with f of x is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3. This is the one that is going to be opening up. And here I distribute it out, and since I have that leading negative, I know that this term here, or this equation, plus 3, is in fact going to open down. Okay. There are other equations you can come up with. I felt like this was the most straightforward way of looking at it. But if you have another solution, you are I'd be more than happy to take a look at it and let you know if your strategy worked out. Thank you.